Good morning, YouTube. It is Thursday, April 1st. Some call this April Fool's Day. I'll let you decide. Heading off to work today, and what was I going to say? Heading off to work for another day. Got some meetings today I have to attend to. I don't know how you guys feel about meetings. Today I have one of those meetings that's kind of like a mandatory attendance for everybody. You know, and it kind of reminds me of, I went to parochial school, and we had to go to morning prayer every day and mass once a week. And sometimes that's kind of like how I feel about some of these meetings. It's like you have to do it, but you really don't feel like it. So, you know, I don't know what it's like for you guys, you know, what kind of stuff that engenders in terms of, you know, does that make you better at your job, worse at your job? Are you less or more likely to be engaged? I don't know. I don't think so. It's kind of like one of those things, if you make someone do something, you might not get the result that you want in terms of, besides getting the job done, you know? But I find that in some ways, at least where I work, they're looking for more than that, in a sense. It's almost like you have to be part of some sort of culture, in a sense, you know. Or they would say definitely, you know. I mean, the department I work in has a chief cultural officer, you know. So there's always that too. And I just find it kind of cult-like. You know, just being upfront and honest here. You know, I don't know. Been working 42 years. I'm just not wired like that. Anyway, it's a Thursday, and I got a call this morning at, I don't even think it was 5 a.m. In fact, it wasn't. It was probably, I don't know, 4:30-ish, 4:40, from my daughter, who lives in San Mateo, that she was having some contractions and whatnot. So she wanted mom's advice, and she's not there yet, but she's getting there, that's for sure. I expect to be a grandparent sometime today or tomorrow, I bet. So we'll see. You know, we'll see what that's about. So today, you know, I'm going to probably do a little side trip too, you know, on the way to work. Maybe take the long way instead of going directly the route that you normally see me take down the beeline. So there's always that. So part of the meeting today is that, you know, we're supposed to, you know, we got like a free donut and drink from Dunkin' Donuts. But the problem is, you know, the closest Dunkin' Donuts to where I work is a couple miles away. The closest one where I live is more than that. And, you know, I don't park right next to my office. The way it works, we have to pay for parking. So it's a bit of a walk. So it's kind of, you know, the meeting's around lunchtime, and it's just kind of like, fuck it. I don't need the donut anyway. Maybe they're counting on that. Cut down on expenditures. But no, we're going to take a different route today. I took this ride, I guess, a week or two ago just to test it out. And it's really pretty. And I've been down it before. But basically it's the Bush Highway. And it goes in the lake region, if you will, the lakes up over here, Saguaro Lake and whatnot. And you can kind of see different mountain tops, you know, the superstitions. Weaver's Needle, top of the world, I think, over by Globe, or whatever it is over there. I forgot the name of the mountain. So this is a little bit different kind of ride than I normally take to work, but maybe it'll give you a little bit of scenery and whatnot. Yeah, so here we are on Beeline, headed out to Bush Highway. Randy T-Bird, I'm sure, knows this route very well. He uses it when he does his vlogs, and he usually stops off and gets gas up over here. So in the distance we could see Four Peaks. Sun's up already, obviously. We have a casino over here for those that you like to gamble. I don't. It just doesn't really do anything for me. You know, some people like to play the games or whatnot. I don't know. Never really got into it. You know, when I was first married, could have been before I was married, my wife and I, we went to Atlantic City for a day and whatnot, and I don't know. I had to drag her away from the slot machines. I have a little more discipline when it comes to things like that. You know, you really should never gamble as much as you can afford to lose. And I guess that goes with anything in life, right? You know, so I guess it's a lesson people don't get. Yeah, so we have a sign over here. This is something I don't notice. Payson 62 miles. Holbrook 163. Been to both. Been to Payson a lot. It's nicer up that way. It's a little cooler up in Payson because they're at 5,000 feet. You know, so the temperature's a little lower, especially in the winter. They do get some snow. But, you know, it's a small town. It's probably 8 or 9,000 people. You know, versus the town I live in, it is about, I don't know, 25, 26, 27,000, maybe a little more in the wintertime. Probably 18 to 20,000 in the summer. Something like that. And I'm kind of separated from the rest of the valley by the McDowell Mountains. So it's kind of, I wouldn't say it's not like being isolated, but it's definitely separate. So it's a lot different than where I grew up on Long Island, where it's basically one suburb after another that's indistinguishable. You know, Long Island probably has a population of like, you know, 3 or 4 million people, and in a very small area. So, you know, Phoenix, I don't know what the population of the Phoenix metro is, 2 or 3 million, but it's, you know, it's pretty big. You know, it's pretty big. You know, New York City could fit inside probably half of Phoenix. You know, to give you an idea, it's probably, I don't know, if you go from the far west valley to the far east where I live, 60 miles, something like that. Top to bottom, maybe 30 or 40. It's a decent sized city. Gonna head out by the lakes. There's Saguaro Lake, Apache Lake, and I think there's one more, Canyon Lake, I think. And then up above all that is Roosevelt Lake, which is a reservoir that dams the Salt River. And basically all those lakes are damages of the, if you want to call it that, of the Salt River, which flows down into Phoenix. And here we are with the Bush Highway. So here's the Bush Highway. You can see Weaver's Needle out there and the Superstitions. You know, maybe it won't come out so well in the video because it's like a wide view. Here's a cattle guard for a Harley Day rider. And there goes a truck that's in a rush to get somewhere. Right on, a-hole. The police do patrol this area with radar. You know, they just had that Indian ride up in Sedona and Prescott and whatnot. I don't know, I think they missed an area they probably could have ridden to down here. But I guess Sedona has its own allure. You know, with the red hills over there, red mountains, whatever. Red rock. But, you know, whatever. See a lot of campers here, RVs, whatnot, because I think there's camping down by the lakes and whatnot. A lot of people like to RV out here. Man, it's a little windy out. Really dusty too. Although you can't see it, I can sure taste it, which is kind of weird in of itself, I guess. There you can see Weaver's Needle and the Superstitions next to it. I think Weaver's Needle's about 4,500 feet tall. Superstitions probably 6,000, close to it, 5,000 to 6,000. Not as big as Four Peaks, but pretty big. Here's another cattle crossing, or HDR. As I'm listening to Dave Matthews on the headset. You guys into Dave Matthews at all? I like a few of his tunes. Right now it's a live version of Ants Marching. Gotta wave, guys, gotta wave. Yeah, Saguaro Lake and Marina down here. Look at this view. Coming over this hill at too much speed, I think, would be a little too exciting. Oh. This is quite beautiful. I don't know if you could see it, the canyon walls and whatnot. During the summertime, sometimes people go tubing down the river here. It gets quite packed. You know, you'll see cars parked along the road here and whatnot. The absolute pandemonium. Lots of saguaro cactus here. I have a few in my backyard. They take a long time to grow too. I won't be surprised if some of these out here are 50 years old or more. Maybe even 100. So anyway, I'm going to take this as the Bush Highway. I'm going to take this out to, you know, Power Road and get on the 202 and get on to work. But this goes for a while. Yeah, there's an old saying in AZ here: 9 over, you're fine; 10 over, you're mine, as far as the cops go. Alright, I'll slow down. Radar signs. You know, I don't need any performance awards, that's for sure. You know, I don't know if I've ever discussed it, but there was a time in my life when I got a lot of speeding tickets when I was young. In a car, for the most part, in my life. I lost my license twice for speeding tickets. In New York, basically, if you get 3 speeders in 18 months, you get suspended. If you get suspended twice in 18 months, you get revocation. So I actually had my license revoked at one point. I was young, and you know, my vehicles weren't exactly, how could I put it? You know, a typical young person's vehicle with primer and different shades and hot rods and all the nine. All that. So, you know, it was funny, you know, when I finally got my license back and I got a newer vehicle that was only 2 years old, I didn't get any more tickets for a while. You know? But, in my whole life, I don't know, 12, 15 speeding tickets? Probably. Something like that. You know, so try to keep it a little sane. You know, the big killer is transitions when you go to, let's say like a 45 or 55 to a 35 or a 25 or something like that. I've gotten nailed with those a lot. And sometimes just outright fucking nailing it. You know, one time I got a ticket for unsafe start. This was back in New York. And I was at a stoplight where basically the right lane you can go straight or turn right. And there was this obnoxious woman behind me honking her horn. She wanted to turn right, but I'm going straight. And in New York, we have a lot of obnoxious people, and I'll leave it at that. I won't comment anymore. But at the time, I had a 1983 Camaro with a 400 cubic inch engine, kind of hot rodded, Flowmasters, cam. Very, very quick car. Anyway, this woman's leaning on her fucking horn and like, move, I want to make a right turn. Dude, I lit them up. I mean, I lit my fucking tires up. I made a cloud of smoke that was 2 stories high and completely engulfed her car. I mean, she probably needed, you know, a respirator after I got done with that. And, I don't know. So I pull away when the light turns green, and a cop gets behind me, pulls me over, and I get a ticket for unsafe start. And he also nailed me for no seatbelt. So there's that. So that was what, probably 26, 27 years ago? Something like that. I don't know if I was married yet. Probably not. So, it's probably just before I got married. It was worth it. Oh, that obnoxious cunt. There's no shortage of that in New York. That's for sure. That was the big difference in moving to Iowa. You know, people are much more polite. In fact, almost too polite, you know. That could be mistaken for being passive-aggressive, I guess. But being from New York, it's like, and I'm not even like a fast-talking New Yorker. You know, I'm like mild compared to a lot of them. And I felt like I had to take myself down a notch when I moved to Iowa. For sure. The society I grew up in is much different than what we have now. Not to sound like an old complainer, but, you know, I grew up in a house, an extended family. My grandmother, my mother's mother lived with us. We went over grandma's, my father's mother's house on Sundays for the Italian dinner. We're just much more close-knit. People stuck together. No, not so much. Everybody does their own shit. You know, I don't know how it is like for you wherever you live. You know, my only kid that moved out so far, she lives in California. Like I said, she's having her baby any day now. And I feel bad, you know, that we're not there with her, you know. And we're going to go out and visit, but with the pandemic and all, it makes things kind of a pain in the ass. So, I don't know. So my kids never had the benefit, especially since we moved a couple times, of having that extended family. You know, I knew my uncles, my cousins and whatnot, aunts, grandparents, different kind of environment. So what was it like for you, you know? And what is it like now? You know, everybody has a different experience. Some people have more fractured lives and homes and whatnot. They never got to experience those things even back then. Or maybe you did, I don't know. As Dave Matthews is playing, The Space Between, what a great song. Anyway, I'm going to cut out now. Maybe, you know. You be you. Everybody else is taken. Trust me, they are. And thanks a lot, guys, for watching my video. I really appreciate it. You know, I'm just an old end of the middle age scheme, just trying to get by day to day until I could jump out of the rat race and kick back for a little bit. So again, thanks a lot, and you guys have a great day, great April 1st, and we'll be talking. See you on the road.